Hi wrestling fans, thanks for clicking today's Dreaded D Rose report. Let me get everything out of the way so I can get this report started. Hope everybody had a great weekend. It's going to be warm around this area the next few days. Alright, former WCW star Marcus Buff Bagwell. He's going to be having his first match since suffering a bad accident back in April when on Friday, September 13th, for the World Wrestling Zone promotion in Chicago. After the April incident, Bagwell left with broken bones in his neck, face, and jaw, and required him to be supported by breathing and feeding tubes. That's not good when you can't breathe and feed on your own. WWE NXT Twitter page announced that Emma is going to be facing NXT Women's Champion Paige for a Lumberjill match in on September 19th down in Tampa, Florida. And to keep with the storyline, Ted DiBiase announced on Twitter that Cody Rhodes can be booked for non-wrestling TV and film inquiries by mailing Greg P. roadagent@gmail.com. NXT star Sami Zayn, formerly El Generico, made his WWE live event debut last night in Montreal. He faced Antonio Cesaro with a small package, beat him. And the match was called the Match of the Night Show Stealer by a lot of fans that was in attendance. The hometown star received major ovation from the crowd, and during all the matches they were yelling "Olé!" And this was this is awesome. Anyway, the video, I guess there's a video on YouTube, but you can hear fans chanting Sammy's name before the end of the match. Tyson Kidd wrestled his first match since going down with an injury back in January, and last night's WWE live event, he lost to Bo Dallas in the opening match. Good thing he's back, so he can lose some more. A fan in attendance noted that there were Kidd chants throughout the match while Dallas got booed. Kidd reportedly showed signs of his knee bothering him and did not limp any before the match or after the match, but however noted that he didn't do as much high flying as usual. Bret Hart, Roddy Piper, believe it or not, is going to be featured in a new pilot for a potential pro wrestling TV show called Body Slam. Los Matadors continue to hype their debut on Twitter. And noted before, Sin Cara is not being advertised kind of on for an upcoming tour of Mexico in commercials, while Alberto, he's there and he's promoting ticket sales. Since then, Cara's been added to the commercial for the tour, but along with Punk and Del Rio and Rey Mysterio and the Wyatt family, a person who saw the commercial noted that it doesn't sound like Mysterio will be wrestling, which I don't think he can yet. Still recouping. And we noted before, I think earlier this year and a lot last year, Stephanie McMahon cashed in many shares of her WWE stocks over the last few months, and she sold another 56,000 shares and of the WWE stock this past weekend, bringing it well over $500,000 she's brought in. The new film Riddick, it had a good weekend too, featuring former WWE superstar Batista. It appeared to be a top-grossing film for the weekend, and the movie estimated, around 18-19 million for the weekend. And Batista, though, he's scheduled to star in a more higher-profile film next summer. It's Marvel's Guardians of the Galaxy. This one here just says featuring, so he probably has a small role in it, sort of the way The Rock did with the Mummy things in the beginning. Anyway, Lanny Poffo, brother late Macho Man Randy Savage, he recently spoke with P.W. Torch about his brother being inducted into the Hall of Fame. He said, I gave them permission to do it without my permission. He says, just don't invite me, don't pay me. It sounds like a hell of a deal to me. Don't need your 30 pieces of silver to defy my brother's wishes. Now he's just rubbing their nose and stuff now. Kayfabe Commentaries has my best interview regarding the reason Randy had this position. And Poffo noted that his brother's wishes were that Randy, Lanny, and his father, Angelo Poffo, all be inducted as a family into the Hall of Fame. You know, they kind of did that with Four Horsemen. They had, Dusty, and they had the Four Horsemen. Why can't you do it that way? Put Macho Man in and bring the family in. 2 different years. Sami Zayn teamed with Bo Dallas and defeated Jack Swagger and Antonio Cesaro at a live event in Brooklyn at the Barclays Center. This match in Monterey over the weekend, there were loud chants for Zayn in the arena. It's, like I'm saying, Olay all the time. Santino Morales. Where's Morales been? Anyway, he's finally returning to WWE, maybe tonight, up in since Raw's in Toronto. And there's been talk about doing a major babyface with E. Langston, good old Big E, in the next few weeks. And with his body, he's just got a monster, scary body. But when you see his face, it just makes you pinch his little cheek. Anyway, Cody Rhodes tweeted about his brother Goldust returning to Raw to face Randy Orton. He says, "I in no way asked Dustin Rhodes to help me with my former employer. The conflict between Triple H and Rhodes family dates back all the way to 1977, and it didn't involve either him or me. I said, I just love my flesh and blood battle-born brother, and I will watch Raw and wave the R banner as he faces Randy Orton for, this fly-by-night Brad Maddox, too." Goldust tweeted, "Made it in Toronto, fight of my life tonight." Speaking of Cody, by the way, he's going to be off, for several more weeks due to the wedding with Brandy Reed. Still not taking place over the weekend, even though JBL on Raw said that the wedding would take place this past weekend, but didn't. Brandy noted on September 5th that she's finalizing the deals for the wedding. And tonight's Raw is taking place in the Air Canada Centre, Toronto, Ontario, Canada. Confirmed for tonight's show is the return of Goldust, and he's going to be facing Randy Orton. If Goldust wins, Cody Rhodes gets his job back. Well, if he's going to be off for a little while longer, he's not going to get his job back because, tonight, it'd be too soon. So most likely Goldust will lose. And also confirmed for tonight's show is the return of Edge. He's going to be promoting Sci-Fi's Heaven. And it's also worth noting that Christian has been out with a concussion, though, but he's being advertised for tonight's show just to be there with his buddy. And dark match announced locally is CM Punk versus Paul Heyman, Curtis Axel in a handicap match. And the reason I say Cody would probably be out longer is somewhere along the line we're going to have Dusty get involved to get his son back in there. So I don't know whether there's going to end up being a wrestling match between Dusty and Orton or not, but that won't be good. And WWE's focusing on the following points for tonight's show. Can Goldust save Cody's job? What does Edge have in store for the WWE Universe, which I would think is a bunch of talking and advertising that show? What is Triple H's next move as he attempts to grow WWE? How is Alberto Del Rio, is he willing to fight to keep the world title? And will CM Punk get his hands on Heyman before the Night of Champions? Most likely not. Maybe grab his ankle or pull him, that'd be about it. Cincinnati Gardens in Cincinnati has announced that TNA is going to be holding an Impact Wrestling taping there on November 7th, 7 p.m. So get on over there. I don't know if they charge or not. Well, yeah, they would for just the house show, I guess. They're inexpensive tickets compared to WWE. Jeff Jarrett's going to be also appearing at the Great Muta's Wrestle 1 event in Tokyo, Japan on October 6th. The promotion had their first show over the weekend. And despite what Kurt Angle's wife tweeted over the weekend about his Team 3D Wrestling Academy event to fight cancer being canceled, well, it's still on for September 14th, Melbourne, Florida at the Melbourne Auditorium. And all previous talents will be appearing. Angel's wife reposted, I guess, as a LOL, didn't realize everyone had nothing better to do than to keep update reports me about me when serious news does exist. And I know everyone agrees with me on that. She goes, quote her. Well, apparently she don't know what she's doing. She married Kurt, I guess. Hey, the following match is being advertised for WWE's tour of the United Arab country in October. October 10th is going to be Orton taking on Bryant, Ziggler taking on Ambrose. October 11th, Orton taking on Bryant, Ziggler taking on Ambrose. Oh, same thing on both nights. Several WWE superstars had their bags lost as they arrived and in Canada at United Airlines, looks like on Sunday night before Raw. They lost their bags. Why are they taking their wives with them? Leave them at home. Alright, Natalia wrote, she says, contemplating wearing my wrestling gear as my pajamas since my bags were all lost. Don't know, Antonio Cicero is doing the same thing. International Olympics Committee, by the way, has reinstated wrestling for the 2020 Olympic Games, and wrestling received 49 votes while softball, baseball received 24, squash 22. And the following matches are being advertised for the September 21st and 22nd live events in Texas. 21st is Orton taking on Bryan, Ambrose taking on The Miz and Fandango. That must be a three-way thing. Big Show and R-Truth taking on Seth Rollins and Roman Reigns, and pretty much the same thing on the next night in Texas. Didn't say where we're at, but oh well, it's in Texas. It's just a little place. Go over and you'll probably find the matches. Thanks for clicking, you guys. I gotta go.